are back at you, MMA Gems. I'm your host as always, Moneyline Mike, and I'm here with you, or I'm here with Hot Hand MMA per usual. We're ready to step over to another numbered card. Took our lumps last week, but we actually put some real pain in the live betting space. Caught Brandon Allen plus 750. Melissa Croden plus 300. Yusri Belgari plus 350. A lot of signaled live plays for gems. But it was shaky. It was like 50-50 on our pre reads. Um, Canada just has our number. That was our last like bang bang card since the last Canadian card, and we're ready to really lock in and leave no doubt once again why we're one of the best groups in the space. But without further ado, we'll move on and we'll start this card off with Suzuki in Inoue taking on Jacqueline Amorim. All right, so I don't want to spend too much time on this fight, but we have Amorim, extremely good jiu-jitsu, taking on Mizuki Inoue, who has good clinch work, good grappling, zero striking. But she's coming back off a 25-month layoff, and she has some decent competition under her belt. Split decisions with with uh Verna Jandiroba. Who's the other one? Was it Alexa Grasso? Hot hand. Did she have a split decision with? Do you know?
Lamos,
Yeah,
and Verna.
all right, yeah, it was Lamos. Yeah, but yeah, so she's fought some solid competition, but she only really had I think 3 or 4 fights in the last 5 years. So not much to trust here, but she's getting the shot against Amorim. Uh, I think that she has the ability to keep Amorim against the cage and stuff like that, and maybe threaten with her submission defense. But I think it's gonna be Amorim here. Um, I think she has more to offer, and I think she's gonna be able to get the submission. I don't really want to talk much on because the odds are pretty steep. You know how I go with these women's fights. It's almost every single time I'm telling you guys to wait a little bit, let the fight play out couple minutes because you're getting odds at minus 395 now on DraftKings, so it has moved down to the maintenance graphic. But I'd probably take a look at uh maybe an under, but it's a women's fight, so I don't like taking minus unders. So the live play, I'd maybe take a look at the Mizuki Inoue takedown prop if you can get like over a half. I can see her getting clinch work and maybe getting this to the ground, but other than that, both these girls can't strike. Um, and Amorin just has the difference in her jiu-jitsu, so there's not much else I could say about it. How about you, Hot End?
Yeah, I don't really like this fight too much. I mean, you got Mizuki, who isn't the best fighter, but she is durable, as her resume shows. And then you got Amorim, who has very good BJJ accolades, and she's legit in the BJJ realm. So, with that being said, with Mizuki, having a good grappling base herself, I believe she had 9 submissions, never been subbed. She's gone the distance with very good grapplers in the past. I think this fight's going to decision. I don't like to play either money line here. I mean, maybe Forum live if Mizuki stuffs a few takedowns possibly, but I don't really like too much on this fight in terms of money line. But maybe an over. But I'm not a big fan on this fight.
Yeah, we won't spend too much time here, and we'll keep it pushing to Mitraposo taking on Azat Maksum. So Azat Maksum coming off a split decision loss. No, I don't know if it was a split decision, but a close loss to Tagir Ulanbekov. A fighter who I'm decently high on, but Azat Maksum came in there as a heavy underdog. Had an extremely close fight. I know it was like pick'em line going into round three. Um, I think I remember live saying that I thought Azat won that 2-1 on 29-28 on the cards, but it was a contested bout. And then on the other side, you have Mitraposo, who was on the other side of one of my top locks of the year, my most confident plays of the year, and Sumadarji over him. But he made it a whole lot closer with his grappling. But he just imposed no physical threat other than just trying to get takedowns on Sumadarji. So I can't really trust him to do anything much here. He has not really anything in the striking realm to offer. Azat Maksum was throwing straight pistols at Tagir Ulanbekov, and he was countering and looking strong in the grappling realm. And if he's looking strong in the grappling realm against a big for the division Tagir Ulanbekov, you guys could probably tune into I forget what episode it is, but if you look up when the last card that Raposo fought on, I believe you could to go back to the podcast episode and scroll over to what I broke down last time. Raposo has one of the worst resumes I have ever seen in my life. He was fighting legitimate Walmart workers, and not to say that Azat Maksum is fighting a lot better competition, but I would say the Kazakh regional scene and stuff like that is a lot stronger than who Raposo is fighting. And I think that Azat Maksum, it just points to him on the play just about anywhere, in the grappling, on the feet, and I think that he'd probably be smarter to keep it on the feet since Raposo is such a grappler. Don't even leave a doubt. If he can, I think he can stuff takedowns fairly easily. Um, I actually kind of like a sneaky play because Raposo has been subbed one time, but it was to Jake Hadley, so it's not like it's a bad grappler. But I could see him trying to get into grappling exchanges, and Azat Moxham has five or six submission victories, so I could see him getting a rear naked choke win or a decision. Maybe even anything, any method on the feet. So it's kind of hard to rule where I want to take him. I like Azat Moxham money line even at that price. I think it's a high degree he wins. And Azat in round two to start would be around minus 190 on DraftKings. That takes a little bit of the juice off, or over a half round to get like minus two something. But besides that, this fight's pretty steep. I'm gonna look to find something when props are out and get out to gems. But besides that, that's all I got for this one. How about you, Hot End?
Yeah, I like Azai here. I think Raposo is trash, and he should have been in the UFC. I think Azai has the clear advantage everywhere, like you said, and but I think it's going to show on the ground the most. The striking, Raposo has a chin, so I don't really see Azad knocking him out. He isn't a dude that has crazy power, but I think Azad is going to have the most success grappling, and I could see him finding a sub. Uh, I like his money line as a lay piece. I like his finish. You could take him by sub/decision. I think it was minus 225 as a lay piece as well. Just take away the knockout prop, but I think Azat's extremely safe here. I think Raposo's trash, and he's going to get cut very soon. So I think Azat is someone that you could put a lot of money on, and you know what I mean, not have to sweat too much.
Yep, I'm decently high degree confidence on Azat here. That's actually usually we rock with like minus 300s on the limit for the podcast collab, but we wanna really dial down and get our most confident reads and not really be restricted. So Azat's probably gonna be my play for the podcast collab today. But we'll keep this one pushing and we'll go over to fucking Hamdi Abdelwahab taking on Chris Barnett Beast Boy. What the fuck is going on? When
Didn't you say this was canceled?
No, that was that's the other one, the other Palestinian fighter.
Versus Camille or Camellia,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, Mateus Camillo versus the other one, yeah. But yeah, no. Hamdi Abdelwahab taking on Beast Boy. I don't know what the fuck's going on. This is the low level heavyweight shit. This is like equivalent to betting on women's MMA. Um, Last time out, we bet on Hamdi. I'm pretty sure on the money line, or it might have been the money line or like the double chance that we liked. Ended up catching a plus 550 Usman round two live snipe to get our money back and then some. But Hamdi failed us before on the predictions. He comes in here against Barnett, who I'm not high on at all. I think he's a fan favorite, and he is, I guess you could say, well rounded at a low level. But he's not really good at anything. He's just not like he's evenly bad across multiple areas. And I've seen him grapple and stuff like that before on the like the grappling circuits and stuff. So like he's there, but he's not going to be on the level of Hamdi Abdelwahab when it comes to the grappling realm. Um, Hamdi doesn't really use it as much as he should, being an Olympic level wrestler. Hamdi, if you don't know, you can check back on our previous breakdowns on him. I think there's one or two, possibly even. But he he's got popped before for PEDs. Dropped the one to Muhammad Usman, losing in the second and the third round, really getting hurt in the third round decently. Um, the late in the third round is really what took the fight away. Uh, there's not much else. He doesn't really use his grappling. He has all right boxing and close. That's why I like him in this matchup. I think they're going to be able to stand up. He'll have an answer for Barnett in the grappling round if they want to go there, and I think he'll have the answer on the feet. And Barnett's really short for the division. He's like 5'9" or something. Hamdi's like 6'1" or something around there. So Hamdi's gonna be big as fuck compared to him. Unless he hits some front flip kick, like whatever, some bullshit like Chris Barnett shit. I don't really see a path to victory for him in this one. I'm gonna take Hamdi. I'm gonna say right now, I don't like his money line. I do not like the value here. It's not like a Zot where I think it's worth it at this price. I don't think it's worth it at this price. I do think you could mess around with stuff though. I really don't want to trust Hamdi. It's not like a high degree call, but if you take like a Hamdi um Abdelwahab money line, and it's the same game parlay on DraftKings. You can probably get similar on FanDuel with round two to start. But if you take in Hamdi and then round two to start, which is over 299.5 seconds on DraftKings, you get minus 135. So you're bringing him way in realistic. And I really think I know Hot Hand brought it up to me earlier. He really likes that Hamdi and this and Chris Barnett round two to start. So that kind of incorporates into the Hamdi winning play. So minus 135. I think there's realistic odds there on this fight. But how do you feel about this one?
Yeah, so all I really got to say is Egyptian caliber wrestler on the Olympic scene, and the dude that refuses to fucking wrestle. So it's like I can't bet you against a Taekwondo fucking fan favorite Chris Barnett. Yeah, Hamdi's Egyptian, fights are in UAE. Judges are probably gonna sway his favor either way, but from what I've seen previously out of this dude, he's fucking terrible. He has no gas tank, pops for peds, fucking like he isn't a dog. He isn't very experienced, and he doesn't stick to what he knows, which is wrestling. And he's fighting a striker, so I can't touch him at any price. I think round two starts 100%. Barnett, I mean, almost lasted against Kennedy Nchekwu, whatever his name is, who was on a knockout streak, but he had to stop because he tore something in his foot, jumping before the fight. So if Barnett could almost last 2 minutes on a torn like ankle or something he tore, then he's gonna last to round two with fucking bum ass Hamdi. And at minus 300, I think that's the beautiful price. And I also like Chris Barnett round three KO. I think Hamdi could fade, and I think Barnett could, I don't know, string something together late in the fight while Hamdi's gas and TKO volume knock him out, put him to sleep, whatever it may be. But I think that's a lotto play. But round two, not to start at minus 300 is my favorite play in
So
this one.
round three two start, right? You said
Wait,
not to
no,
start.
no, no. Round two, not or round two start. Yeah, yeah. Round two
Yeah,
start.
and I think I sent it earlier. We were talking about it. I also like the longer shot, like you just said, on Hamdi round two, round three knockout. It's like plus 340 for those two. I think he gets past round one, and I think he can get a lit. I think they both can gas, and then Hamdi can have some because he has some decent boxing. I think he can find the mark and possibly
He
get
has
get something out of
power.
there. Yeah,
He has power 100%. Like he has a big thick frame, so I mean,
yeah,
but I think I'm probably going to take round 3 finish as well cuz I think both of them are very very easily susceptible to get put to sleep or subbed in round 3 or whatever the case may be. They're big, they're fat, they're overweight. They've gassed previously in fights, so
yeah. Either guy's getting cut with a loss, in my opinion. But we'll move on to this one. We'll go to a more exciting fight in Jose Delgado taking on Nathaniel Wood. Nathaniel Wood, Great Britain top team. He's a veteran, clean boxing, sharp calf kicks, great range control. He's durable, but he gets into hittable wars. He's that Cage Warriors style that we've grown accustomed to. So hold on to what I just said for later. But then we'll have Jose Delgado. He's a finisher. He's explosive. He's coming off that brutal finish of Hyder Emil, catching him with the knee. Um, he made short work of him in like the first minute of the fight. He looked solid. Before that, he got gripped up a little bit in this fight before, and I have seen him hurt on the regional scene and put down the regional scene. This fight is, in my opinion, going to stay on the feet. I think these guys are going to be throwing shit. I think they're going to be striking. I think it's going to benefit Jose Delgado. I do think Nathaniel Wood is good in the striking realm. That's like his forte, but I do think that he has a lot of holes in his striking defense. I've seen him hurt in Cage Warriors, fight that he probably should have been finished on the feet, and then the refs let it go, and he ended up getting a comeback victory. I've seen him hurt before, so I don't think that he's going to be able to do that same thing with Jose Delgado, and I think Delgado's frame and hips are going to benefit him when it comes to if Nathaniel Wood wants to get into the clinch with desperation. I think Delgado's going to be able to find a strike in this fight. I'm kind of liking the under in this one. Uh, I think Nathaniel Wood, even though he hasn't, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think he's gotten finished, but I don't know. I think Jose Delgado can be able to find the strike on the feet. I think he has more to offer pretty much everywhere. And I don't, and it's a system play to fade Cage Warriors veterans. I'm gonna keep doing it again, and I'm gonna take Jose Delgado on the money line. I also like the under. How about you, Hot Hand?
Yeah, like you said, Cage Warriors, dude. So almost an instant fade. I mean, I like Nathaniel Wood. I like his style. He has good wins over people like Jourdain. I'm forgetting another good name. I think he beat Andre Philly, or Feely. So he's beaten some good caliber fighters. And Delgado is newer to the UFC. He hasn't had much experience, but he does have a lot of finishing power, which I like about him. We cashed on him last time against Hyder and Mill, and what I really seen was the reach and the height advantage for Delgado, and he has it again here with Nathaniel Wood. Uh, Delgado is 5'11", Wood's 5'6", and he has a 5-inch reach, and they're fighting in the big ring. This ain't no UFC Apex card, so there's going to be a bigger octagon, more room for Delgado to throw, and I think he's going to have the slicker striking in this match. So with all that being said, I like Delgado money line at -150, and I also think he puts Wood out with a KO.
Yeah, I take back what I said. I guess I was mistaken something in my notes, but Wood has been finished actually. He's been finished twice by submission and twice by knockout. So one was a doctor stoppage, but so he has been put out and finished. And I think Delgado with his finishing expertise, this plays right into his game plan here, getting into a brawl with a Cage Warriors vet. So yeah, we're both on Delgado's
I,
money
I think
line.
I think the reach and the height, bro. It's practically like the Hyder and Mill fight again.
Yeah,
I, I
Ryder
I
Mill had a
remember
whole
for that Hyder and Mill fight, bro. All of Mill's fights before that were in the Apex, and then this was in the big octagon. I remember they made that announcement, and I'm like, bro, like a Mill's style is like 30 boxing. I'm in your face, clinching and wrestling you. I'm like, big octagon, bro. I'm like Delgado sleeping him. I feel like this is the same situation.
yeah. Well, we'll move on to this bout where we have two replacement rescheduled opponents taking on each other here in the heavyweight division. Walter Walker taking on Louis Sutherland, and kind of similar to how I was thinking about the other fight. I honestly think that Muhammad Usman had a better chance of winning this fight. Um, but Walter Walker, in my opinion, just has way better jujitsu. Uh, he's in phenomenal shape. I don't know if you've seen any of the Instagram pictures or you keep up with his social media or see him in weigh-ins or anything. He is in insane shape. So like when you're looking back and you're looking at his loss and debut to that trash heavyweight, I can't his name's slipping my mind right now, but he's losing to
Lucas Brzeski.
yeah Lucas Bresky, yeah, losing to him on debut and stuff like that. That was 265 Walter Walker. That was fat Walter Walker. We have unlocked serious, actually like possibly on steroids Walter Walker. Like I should probably clip it in the video, but I probably forget to. But it's a picture of him or a video of him from his Instagram. Go to his Instagram and it's him before his fight, and he's like foaming out the mouth like. And Louis Sutherland built like a fucking One Piece character. So like I'm not feeling Louis Sutherland here. He's coming from PFL or Bellator. I don't know which one it was, but or both. But via Walter Walker at minus 380. I think that's a line. Obviously, it's wide. I do think that it has value, but Louis Sutherland is a solid guy for the state of the heavyweight division. And I think that there isn't a 0% chance that he could find the chin of Walter Walker if he can stuff takedowns. But Walter Walker is way bigger than him too. So I don't know. I think Walter Walker's going in there, and I think he's getting a fucking heel hook. Like I swear, bro, he's gonna. I think Walter Walker's getting a finish. And if not, he's gonna get finished. So I was taking a look at round three, not to start minus 130 on DraftKings. Um, so that's a line that I like. I don't think this one goes to the judges. Under 2.5, you're getting a little bit more juiced at like the minus 170 range. So unless you want to parlay that and take the fight not to go the distance or under 2.5 rounds, I like that round three not to start if you get it. Under 1.5 rounds, you're getting around plus money. Um, you're pushing a little bit more there, but I think that this fight could even end within the first 7.5 minutes. So yeah, that's a route that you can go to. Uh, how do you feel about this one?
Yeah, I mean we have fucking Johnny Walker's brother who spent most of his life in fucking Russia, who wrestles like a Russian, but has the Brazilian BJJ to go along with it. So like Walker's a crazy character, man. He has good grappling, but I don't know what the fuck that shot attempt he shot the with that Kennedy fight, bro. That shot was fucking pathetic. I mean, Louis Sutherland is pretty fucking ass too, but I do think he has the threat to knock out Walker. But I think Walker has the sub threat. So I mean, with these big favorites getting checked in the last few fights, I mean, it makes me question: is Walker going to be the one that gets checked here? Because he comes out, he doesn't throw any punches, and he immediately goes into the clinching. What if he gets stuffed once or twice? How's his cardio going to hold up? So with that being said, I like Walker by sub or Sutherland KO. I think it was minus 145. I already signaled it in gems. I put 2 units on it, but I think that's a beautiful piece at that price.
Um, it's yeah, but I think you need to go on Walter Walker's Instagram. If you saw the video that I shared, I hope you saw it. He's like in an elevator and he's like flexing in like the mirror and he's like speaking Brazilian, but he's like foaming at the mouth, bro. Veins bulging out of his whole face and shit. He's not losing to Louis Sutherland. I really don't think he
No, I think Walker wins 100%, but I do think he's gonna get checked very shortly against someone that has good takedown defense because he's beaten cans up to this point. I think his only real win was over Kennedy, but he's just doing it in such crazy fashion all the same way. Everyone's like, oh my God, you know what I mean? But if you give him a decent fighter that could stuff a takedown, I think he's going to get knocked out or he's going to gas out.
yeah, I could see it. But we'll move on from this one. We'll head over to this fight actually got canceled, so we're gonna keep pushing. Then we have Ludwig Klein taking on Matish Rebecki. Um, Rebecki, I'm surprised that he's coming back this fast after that absolute war with Chris Duncan that he lost and sold a lot of people on like a minus 200 favorite. Uh, I always find out last second that like people are training with each other and shit. So those two were fucking around laughing with each other when they were fighting. Kind of like they were having a war, but they were like I don't know. they train with each other and shit. It was a bit different. Now you have Ludwig Klein coming off that loss to Gamrot. Gamrot just got choked the fuck out by Charles Oliveira. Shout out to Bronx. But I think that this one had me a little bit confused at first. Uh, I like the striking obviously of Ludwig Klein over Mateusz Rebecki because Rebecki defensively at the striking is very, he leaves a lot to be desired. He's very not slick. Very, he just goes in there and he's trying to brawl. He reminds me of something that would be out of Cage Warriors, but he's way bulkier than Ludwig Klein. He's gonna be shooting for takedowns in this one. That's the one thing that worries me with Ludwig Klein. Are we still gonna be doing this where we're gonna be sitting there surprised when he can't stuff the takedowns and he loses? Rebecki's probably gonna be spamming him, so I want to look at what the line is on his takedown prop. I do think that Ludwig Klein's gonna be way faster than him, like in the striking realm, in the scrambles. I think he's gonna be laying shit on the button. I don't know if Ludwig Klein's gonna be able to knock Rebecki out, so I think this one's gonna go a little bit later into the fight. Um, I don't know. Let me take over a look at the over underlines for the fight, and if you're looking at Ludwig Klein, um, the over 2.5 for this bout would be it's on the prelims. Yeah, I'm over here looking at the main card. Back to the prelims for Ludwig Klein. Um, the over 2.5 is -138. That's decent odds. Round three to start. Yes, -168. I think this fight goes a little bit later. I am a little bit skeptical on the grappling abilities here and like the weight distribution because Rebecki's gonna be coming in there fucking juiced up, but he's gonna gas before Ludwig Klein is. So I'm gonna side with Ludwig Klein via decision or like maybe a late finish. Um, but I do have questions though. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I like Mateus Rebecki a lot. He gets into wars, you know. But the one thing, as like if you were gonna bet on him, you got to take in the factor that he has the most fragile skin on any fucking human. You could literally cough in his direction and he's getting cut. Every fight after, it looks like he got hit by a FedEx truck. And you know, like if the judges are scoring based off damage criteria, you know that ain't in your favor. He's always fucking bloodied up. His one eye, the striking advantage here. Rebecki got good power. He's going to have the grappling advantage, but I think Klein is just going to be able. I think he's going to be able to stuff takedowns, and I think we're going to see Rebecki slow down before we see Klein. I think Klein's going to come more alive later in the fight, and Rebecki, as usual, is just going to wear damage. I think Klein's going to either win a late knockout, like late round two, 29-28. But I don't know if I'm a pre bet this fight. I think this is more of a live bet fight because if we see Mateus get cut or anything like that, I'm taking Klein.
Yeah, I didn't even really think about that. Yeah, he does get absolutely butchered every single fight. I will say that he has beaten a dog in Mictebek Orobai. Um, but like you
I
said,
had so much on Aura by that fight, bro. Aura is one of my favorite fighters.
same here.
I still think Aura won, but that shit was a fucking war.
Yeah, both those guys were beat the fuck up, and I think that we might be in store for another one here. But the striking defense for Ludwig Klein is there, so we'll have to see that how that is. But line's close for a reason. We'll keep it pushing. We got Ikram Aliskerov taking on Jung Young Park. Um, you have the Iron Turtle back here taking on one of the Dagestanis. Ikram Aliskerov got Volt, like he just like he was fighting against straight cans, and then he just got automatically shot up to Bobby Knuckles in was that a main event too? I'm pretty sure, but it might have been a main event or like a co-main or something. But he got knocked the fuck out by Bobby Knuckles.
Which one are you talking about?
Ikran Olaskarov taking on Robert Knuckles.
That was main event
Yeah,
because that was supposed to be Whitaker versus Ikram.
yeah. Um, Ikram, he's pretty well rounded. When you think about the Dagestanis, obviously you think about their wrestling acumen. Um, but he does have striking on the feet, and I think he is a better striker than Jung Young Park. Jung Young Park was low key getting eaten up on the feet in his last fight against Nardiev. So if he's getting eaten up there, I think Ikram Oscarov is going to be able to outstrike him and out. And I don't really think it's going to be beneficial for Jung Young Park to try to come out here and have a clinch style approach either with Ikram Oscarov. Even though he is, I wouldn't say more. He strikes. He has power, but he's training with top level guys. He's gonna have grappling as well. Um, I I think Ikram Ostrov gets the W here. I think this is a good matchup for him. I think he just melted his last opponent. He's been looking solid, and I think he gets another W. I don't know about a finish here because the Iron Turtle is pretty durable, but I think a pretty convincing win for Ikram Ostrov. If you're looking at the -3.5 spread, I usually don't take these a lot, but -135 is a possible look if he goes to the point. If he goes to points or if he gets the over unders on the 2.5 is pick 'em. So the book feels the same way. They don't really know how this is going. -3.5, I feel like he can. I feel like he gets a 30-27 here, more than likely. I don't really you see unanimously Jung Young Park being able to steal around. I think if anything, it's like one or two judges, and then we're still covered by that back door. So that's what I'm taking. I think so. How about you?
Yeah, I think Ikram walks through Park. I think it's gonna be a very slow fight though. Park's very durable, and Ikram isn't really known for crazy wild exchanges. And I think Ikram's gonna be better all around. I think it's gonna be more of like a striking match though. I don't really foresee Ikram shooting or really trying to clinch with Park, but I think he's gonna have a clear advantage on the feet. I don't think there'll be a finish. I think it'll be round three if there is a finish, as Park, takes more and more damage throughout the fight. But I think more than likely we're going to see an Ikram decision. But I do really like that -3.5 play you said. You said that was what, -135?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm definitely playing that as a straight for that fight. Because even if it's a decision, bro, like you said, they're not giving fucking Park a round on all three in Abu Dhabi against fucking Ikram Aliskerov. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm
definitely
saying.
not. Yeah,
Uh,
that -3.5 is. I'm about to put that in right now.
yeah, I think that's the play for this. We'll keep this one pushing. We got Nazra Haqparast taking on Quillen Salkilld. Quillen Salkilld coming off an impressive ass whooping of the Israeli fighter Yamal Ashmouz, and then Nazra Haqparast. He's always getting into these wars. What was his last fight? I'm confused. He had he was
Repovics.
yeah, Reboot. That's his last fight. That was a while back. That's why I thought that he might have fought before that or fought after that. Um, I know you were high on Rebovix there. I know Unk signaled he was big on Pac Pro spread in that on that card, but he looks good. He's one of those guys who gets in the war striking wise. He's very durable on the feet. Um, he's training out a TriStar. I know that he trains with them, Canada. Like, but I'm trying to find a flag to make these graphics. It was like it said he's from Afghanistan, and then it's like he was born in Germany, and then it says he's from Morocco, and then he trains in Canada. So I don't know what the fuck this guy's doing, but Colin Salkilld on the other hand, he is straight Aussie prospect. That's it. He's one of the top Aussie prospects in my opinion coming up. He's well rounded. He has the grappling, and uh, it has me a little bit stuck in this fight because uh, although I do think he did look good in his last fight, Ashmu is a shorter fighter who I'm not really too high on, besides like some random power, and he was really making him work, and he was defending a lot of his takedowns despite getting his absolute ass whooped. Um, so I'm not quite sure about Salkid being able to completely dominate the grappling, but I do think that Nasra Haqparast is going to have to slicker boxing, more power, and definitely more of a chin. And if you watch back that Ashmus fight versus Salkilld, Salkilld was uh he was getting hurt in that third round. He was scaring a lot of bettors. I guarantee that. Uh, he was getting rocked and he was running low key. So against Nasrat, that scares me enough not to take Salkilld on the money line. I'm not quite sure if his grappling is going to be able to be as consistent. Look at the comparison on who these guys are fighting. I think Nasrat is live to get a later finish, or this for to be a very close fight, as the lines would say. But I don't know. I like Salkilld as a prospect. I think Nasrat Haqparast though is just a tough guy. So you could probably take the Nasrat money line, but it's gonna be a close fight. Salkilld takedowns, which aren't out yet, is a look that I want to look at because if he wins, I think it's gonna be almost certainly behind a grappling style approach. So that's a way that you can kind of hedge yourself there. How do you feel about this one?
Yeah, I was never really high on Salkilld. I don't know. I don't. I mean, he's well rounded. He has good grappling and all, but I just don't think he's really gonna hang as he meets the tougher competition in the UFC. And I mean, Nazarat is a big step up in competition, and Nazarat was just gifted his last decision. Everyone knows Repovic beat him, and he was still handed a decision. And now he's fighting in UAE, and he represents Afghanistan. So I mean, he's gonna have the judges' sway for sure. And I think he's a better striker. I think he has the better cardio. Nazarat has very good takedown defense. I believe it was around like 85% or something. So I don't really see Quinlan's takedowns really doing anything if he even gets them. So I like Nazarat's money line here. I think he's going to be live for a late finish. Like you said, I don't know if I'm going to bet it though, but I am leaning Nazarat in this spot.
Yep. So we'll keep it pushing here. Possible dog chance there, but before we head to the main card, per usual, we'll just take a quick minute to talk about the Fade Factory. You guys should just hop in. Link in the description. It's a free betting Discord. We also have some VIP spots in there if you want to take your edit to the next level, or if you want to join the top reads from the podcast crew in MMA Gems. Only $10 a month, less than McDonald's there, and our numbers are blowing. You can blowing out people out of the water, and you can drop in comments. I want to see. You can drop. I don't care. I'll call out anyone. We have to pick it to prove it. Putting out good numbers here, and you're not gonna have better value for the price for the numbers. So that's a guarantee. But get right or get left per usual. And we'll start the main card off with Azamat Murzakanov taking on Alexander Rakic. Um, this line is a little bit closer than I'd like it to be, or not a little bit closer than I like it to be. I think it's closer than it should be. I think Osmont Murzakanov is a good read here because he has that powerful hands. He had good slick strike. I know Rockets used to be dangerous with his leg kicks and stuff, but he hasn't won a fight. He hasn't won a fight since Trump's first term, like as president. Like he hasn't won a fight since 2021. So like I'm not backing him to come over and beat Azamat Murzakanov here. I don't think he has a lot to offer. I think very he's very chinny. I think his gas tank's very questionable. I think Osman Murzakanov is going to walk him down, and I think he's going to be able to find the strikes and get a finish here. I'm going to take Osman Murzakanov on the money line, and I really like him in this spot. I think that he just has a good shot here. Not quite sure why to pick him for a guy who hasn't won a fight in like 4 years. Um, yeah, give me Osman here. That's all I really got to say. How about you?
Yeah, I think Rakic's pretty bad. He just has like heavy hands, heavy kicks. That's really about it. You've seen within that Yuri fight, he destroyed Yuri's leg, but then instantly gassed and then literally just crumbled and fell over. So I mean, Asmat's very good. The only thing that scares me is the height and reach disadvantage. But I mean, in the same sense, Azamat just fought Bretson Ribeiro, who's only an inch shorter than Rakic, and dropped him. So I mean, it's tough. Instead of playing Azamat's money line, I think it's safer to play the knockout prop because I do think Rakic has a possibility of clipping Azamat. just based off the reach and the height and whatnot. And I think the KO is the best way to go in this fight. And then you could also hedge it with an Asmat decision, because I could see Asmat picking him apart for 3 rounds and staying on the outside. So give me the KO prop method of victory at -130, and I'll hedge that with Asmat by decision.
Yeah, I do like that KO method of victory right there. -110 on FanDuel, so that's a good line there. And you can even hedge that, yeah, with like you said, the Azamat by points. I don't really see I don't really see submission happening here. So I think we're getting
Nah, definitely
I
not.
think we're
Definitely
getting
not a stop.
I think we're getting good odds for only two of the possibilities being there. We'll move on though. We'll see Alexander Volkov taking on Jailton Almeida. Um, they fucking said, yeah, Volkov, we'll get you right. You got robbed against Cyril Gane. Yeah, here's Jailton Almeida, who's like completely opposite to your style and like a bad matchup for you. Dana White said, fuck you, Alexander Volkov. Um, and it's tough here. I like Volkov as a fighter. I think that he has resurged and has like a second career, like second life that he's having right now. And I really think that he beats Cyril Gane in the feet. But Jailton Almeida is going to be able to get him to the ground. I really think he's going to be able to. On the feet, it's not even going to be a problem for Volkov because Jailton Almeida really can't fight. But on the ground, Jailton Almeida is probably going to be tossing Volkov around. Volkov's really big. I don't think Volkov has the power to sleep him in that situation that Curtis Blades did. It's just it. Oh yeah, I actually got these odds wrong. I think it's -270 for Jailton Almeida. I probably got that wrong, but yeah, I know he's a decent sized favorite. I'm gonna lean with Jailton Almeida, but I really do like Volkov. I do think that he's resurged his career. And if he can keep it standing, it's gonna be a no brainer. So this is a live read as well. But I like an under in this fight, and I think Jailton Almeida is gonna be able to string together some takedowns to get this to the ground, but if if he can't, he's gonna get knocked out. So I'm gonna take a look at the unders right now. They're probably, if I had to guess, they're probably juiced. Um, no, under 1.5 -104. I could see that. I kind of like the round three not to start -160. That's getting a little bit more juiced, but I don't really see it going the distance. So I think that's a way to play it. But do you got anything else on this?
With the Volkov, I mean, I think the value's on him. I think Almeida is very good, but I foresee him struggling with takedowns, and not because Volkov has crazy like defense, but he's just so fucking long, and I don't think like against the cage throws or trips are gonna work. I think the only way he's gonna be able to get him down if he's shooting solid like single and double legs. And I think I foresee Volkov just keeping range. I see him stuffing a few because it's gonna be difficult to take someone down with like giving up that much height. And I mean, now once Almeida gets him on the ground, if he does, I think it's gonna be clear as day that he's the more dominant grappler and he has way better BJJ. But any second besides if they're on the ground, it's going to be going to Volkov. And with Volkov having such value on his line, I think Volkov is the play here. Also, a KO only money line. Volkov, I think, would also be a good play. I'm not sure what odds are on that, but I think the value's on Volkov. I think Almeida is like a 60-40 chance of winning here, but I think all the value's on Volkov.
Um, for the line you just said, knockout only money line Volkov -165.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I don't think it's a bad little play. I don't see Almeida getting a sub or I don't see him getting a knockout. If he has him on the ground, I don't see Volkov just quitting from ground and pound strikes. I think he's gonna have to put him out with a sub. Then that's the only way he gets Volkov out of there.
Yeah, I like that too. But yeah, not much else to say. Like you said the 60-40. I mean, that would only be like -150. So the, the value is definitely on his line. I have the line in my hand right now. He's like -205 for Gelton Almeida. I guess I fucked up the graphic, but Yeah, minus 205. That's around like not 70% implied. That's like 65% implied or something around there. So we're around there, but I'm not paying that much for Jailton Almeida, even though I think he can get this to the ground. So takedown prop might be an but might struggle, and that's the big if. Um, I have Umar Nurmagomedov. I think he's the biggest favorite on the card. He's like minus 600, minus 700. Fighting against Mario Bautista. Bautista coming off beat Patchy Mix, which didn't I guess really age well. Even though he did violate Patchy Mix, the Jacob VCats guy just also beat him. Even though I think it was maybe a robbery, but not really a robbery. Um, I think it's just clear here. I think that Mario Batista's usual cage clinch shit again. It's not going to be smart here. I think he's going to get tore up in the stand up. I think he's going to lose everywhere. I don't think he's fast enough in the sprawl game or anything like that. I think he's a little too stiff to be able to move around with what Umar is going to be able to bring to the table everywhere. I'm taking Umar. I think a late finish is even possible here. Um, but I think maybe like Umar and an over. But I don't think that Mario Ortiz is going to be able to do that same shit he's been doing. That this is not the guy to be doing it with. And Umar minus 600, we're getting pretty ridiculous with that line. Uh, he has a pretty confident play, but if I take a look at how to play him, is this 5 rounds or 3 rounds? 3 rounds, I'm assuming. Yeah,
This 3.
yeah, 3 rounds. If you're taking a look at Umar and round two to start minus 280 brings him down to realistic numbers that you can put another minus 200 pick with, and now you're at plus money, and you got the favorite down. If you want to feel like a guy, oh, I want to take Umar and I want to take uh Tom Aspinall. And you're like, oh, but it's too juiced. Like, you got that right there. You got him to minus 280. You take Tom Aspinall, and now you got to around even money or something like that. So the parlay piece kind of fight. I don't really know what else you can take. A late finish chance. I'll probably have to drop some type of same game parlay or find like some type of prop. But I'm not quite sure what I'm playing here yet. Besides what I just said. How about you?
Yeah, Mario Batista is on that list of fuck you fighters. Can't stand the dude. I mean, gets handed decisions, especially against Aldo. Has a crazy boring fight style and realistically just hunts for a decision, never looks for a finish. So I think Umar's definitely the better striker. He has the better grappling. I think he's gonna let that. He has what, the Muay Thai background or Taekwondo?
Muay Thai now.
Yeah, well, I think he's gonna let that Muay Thai style show. I think he's gonna keep range and really let the kicks go. I think whenever Batista closes range and tries to clinch, I think he's just gonna circle out. I think we may even see some of his wrestling show. I could see him fucking body locking or judo throwing the fuck out of Mario Batista as he tries to enter a clinch. But I think Umar's gonna be a clear favorite. But I just don't like the chalk on his line. I do like Umar by decision, but I think that's still like minus 200. So, like Mike said, I do like, you said, the Umar money line in round two to start.
Yeah, that's minus 260. I think it was said minus 280 on that. If you get
Yeah,
it,
I think that's
if you
three
take
piece.
instead and you move it over to um over 1.5 rounds, you're getting around minus 200. But you might as well just take it that round two to start and just throw it in because it's already a parlay piece as it is. It's gonna be hard to get that down. Um, Maybe if you end up adding, now you're making it into the same game parlay, but if you add like a takedown or something like that in there, you probably get it around to like minus one something. But you're gonna have to start working with a same game parlay then, and not everyone has that. But we'll move on from this fight over to the co-main event, and we have a belt fight, vacant belt, 5 round brawl, and it's a rematch for beautiful Mackenzie Dern taking on even more beautiful Verna Jandiroba. Um, Look at those odds. But these girls have already fought. Mackenzie Dern won a unanimous decision, but since then, Verna Jandiroba has kind of taken over. But she has had some fights that I feel like have been handpicked for her. But she had an extremely impressive fight in her last one against Jean Janan. But the Chinese girl who was extremely tough and drops bombs, but she really was gripping her up, putting her in bad positions, threatening submissions. I'm surprised she didn't get her out of there. But the thing is, Mackenzie Dern extremely good with her jiu-jitsu as well. Um, Mid on the feet, but better than John Jandiroba on the feet. Uh, this fight, in my opinion, is going to come down to striking minutes. And Jandiroba's strength. Is she going to be able to just try to Nurmagomedov her way? Because I don't foresee her being able to sub Mackenzie Dern. I think Mackenzie Dern has a little bit more slick style with rolling around for submission and stuff. I think Jandiroba is more just a strength grappling approach, even though they're both jiu-jitsu type specialists. I see Mackenzie Dern having success on the feet and submission wise, but I could at the same time see the Jandiroba wrestle fuck victory as a very high probability chance. So early on, I was thinking Jandiroba is a good. I think she's good value regardless because she opened up at like -2 something. So if you're getting her at +149, I think that the time to bet on Mackenzie Dern is gone. So I'm not taking Mackenzie Dern at -150, almost 60 or 60% implied probability when she was just plus money like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. So I'm not messing around with that. I'm gonna take Verna Jandiroba, but I could see definitely why Mackenzie Dern has turned to a favorite. I think that she can win this fight on the feet, but it's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be an over, and I think either girl on a spread. I think it's gonna be a contested fight. Don't think either one of them's gonna have. I think if anyone has a chance of putting belt to ass, it's gonna be Verna with the grapple fucking. But I still have to watch some more tape. I want to run back their fight again. See some of the ones recently, but I'm kind of stuck how to play it. But John Jandiroba has value on her money line, in my opinion. Well, how about you? How do you feel about that one?
Yeah, I said like probably what, like 5 days ago, I was like, how the fuck is Verna plus money? I mean, Mackenzie Dern's been around the UFC a long time. She has good wins, and she also has bad losses. And I think her BJJ is extremely, extremely slick, and she could sub you from any angle or any position on the octagon floor. But I think Verna, she has very good wrestling control. Like she doesn't uh grapple you and leave herself open and leave reversals and sweeps and whatnot available. I think Verna's gonna have the upper hand. And I was very, very low on Verna until I seen what she did to that Chinese bitch. What's her name? Yan or Zan or whatever. I don't know her name, but she's very, very good, and she literally babied her for 3 rounds and just grapple fucked her. So I think Verna at plus money here is a very, very good play. I'm definitely gonna bet it as a straight, and I'm also gonna look at over props as well because I do think that this fight they're gonna cancel out on the ground, and it's more than likely gonna go to a decision.
Yeah, you're looking at over 4.5 rounds at -140. I think it goes. I think it goes all five as well. Um, Especially in rematches, the girls get used to each other and they've already experienced each other's strength and stuff. They're gonna be taking their time and trying not to get put in harm's way. They've already went to a decision with each other once, although it was 3 rounds. I will question Verna Jandiroba's cardio getting late and the fact that she's 37. But women's MMA, you're gonna have to take your shots, and I don't think either of these girls are a lock. So I like the plus 140 side of a girl who I think is in a she has a value spot 100% in Verna. But we'll move on to the main event. We have Cyril Gane somehow back in the title appearance, taking on Tom Aspinall, who's finally back. I thought he was gonna be making his third fucking or fourth interim title defenses, but he's here defending or defending his belt for the first time here against Cyril Gane. And so I've seen Cyril Gane. He looks a lot bigger, and he's in really good shape. And he has been training for this fight in high capacity. But I think Tom Aspinall is just gonna be in another level for him. Cyril Gane got put against the cage, but I know it's John Jones, but got put against the cage and put with an elementary guillotine against Cage after getting whooped. And if you think that Tom Aspinall, who's a legitimate black belt, even Islam, who is a hater on fake black belts, Islam Makhachev said Tom Aspinall is a real black belt. So that's how you know that he has some high credibility in the BJJ world. But if he's if he's gonna go over there and he's gonna even Cyril Gane was getting taken down by fucking he was getting out grappled by Nagano and shit. Do you think that Tom Aspinall's not gonna be able to absolutely maul this guy on the ground? I'm seeing a bunch of clips of Shogun hiring boxers and shit in his training camp. Fucking Tom Aspinall's a black belt. He's gonna take this guy down. He's gonna choke him out, or he's gonna sub him, or he's gonna ground and pound him. I'm taking Tom Aspinall. Damn, I didn't fuck bro. I fucked up these odds too. I'm over here slacking on the graphics, but I'm taking Tom Aspinall on the money line. Uh, Fucked up on the graphics for you guys, but I'll give you the money on live right now. Tom Aspinall right now minus 345. DraftKings Zero Gone plus 275. But yeah, I'm going Tom Aspinall all the way here at a high degree confidence. I think he finishes Zero Gone either way, but Tom Aspinall by finish is gonna be my play. How about you?
Yeah, I think. I mean, Gon's a high level fighter. He has very legit kickboxing, but he doesn't have dog to him. I mean, that John Jones fight, he literally gave up, gave his back effortlessly, and then tapped to literally nothing. So I mean, I think Gon was literally scared in that fight and wanted to get out of the cage. And I think Aspinall, he's the real deal. I think he's gonna go out there and show it and beat the fuck out of Gon. I mean, Aspinall's my lock of the card. I think he's gonna win via KO. I could see a sub because I mean Gon lacks BJJ and grappling, but I think Aspinall's power. He's gonna connect on the feet before he even shoots, and he's gonna put him out.
Yep. There's not much else to talk about when it comes to this fight. I'm decently high degree We're gonna go into our picks. I haven't didn't get time to make the graphics. Been focused on smacking up an NBA and getting ready for this NFL game. But we're gonna have that out on the Instagram and Twitter and in the Discord shortly. But we're gonna go for the collab. We didn't have Mo this week. He went MIA for some reason after today. It's gonna be a collab. We're gonna have one of our guys from the Discord, Mike Too Raw, on this week. It's gonna be uh, Azat Maksum on the money line, Tom Aspinall on the money line, and Ludwig Klein on the money line. If you like plus 180 on DraftKings, you can get a boost or something on other books as well. But if you join Onyx with my code HS331868, I'll drop it in the comment on the link. Deposit 10, get 100. You tail up on this easy 3-leg money line lay plus 180, and then the featured pick is also gonna be from Mike. It was gonna be cashed ARP because he won, but we couldn't get a hold of him. Different time zone over in Australia, so had problems getting in touch. But we have Mike Terrell making his selection for the featured prop as well, and for the featured pick, he's gonna take Walter Walker versus Sutherland under 1.5 rounds at around plus money. So that's gonna be his play there. We have our 3-legger out. Um, I also like Walter Walker as a player that you can sub in there if you want to get a little bit more value on anything. Uh, I'm decent high confidence on those plays. Is there any other play that you really think that you're high confidence on? Just since we gave a little bit of juice play this week.
Yeah, I like that Hamdi and Barnett fight to start round two a lot.
Yeah, so you throw those together, mix and match, throw one of those or those minus 300 legs with a minus 150 or a minus 180 line. You can add on top of our the parlay we just gave. You can add the Volkov knockout only money line, so you can get a little bit of juice taken off of it, and it's probably most likely going to void if anything. So not like you're getting hurt and you're getting that boost on the line. But yeah, that's our play here. We have Tom Aspinall, Azat Maksum, and Ludovic Klein, 3-leg plus 180 on DraftKings. But as always, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in, getting up there. I believe this is episode 25 uh, of the podcast. Appreciate everyone who follows. Keep spreading the word. Keep getting right with us. And we will see you at the cat counter as always.